Hi, I'm Susan, and I'm the property energizer. Okay, so we talked about meeting people where they're at, having empathy, and having a real genuine conversation with them. And so sales comes easier to some people than others. I'm sorry, that's my dog hacking on the other side of the door. Anyway, so not everybody's a salesperson, right? Well, that's not true at all. Because Saint Mother Teresa coined the phrase best. She said, we're all salespeople, and some of us make a living at it. And that's true. We're always selling everybody on our ideas, what we want to eat, what TV show we want to watch, what movie we want to go to, what restaurant we want to go to. And you're either buying it or you're not. And it's the same thing with marketing. They get you to buy their soda, coffee, bed, whatever, right? And it's up to you to decide that. And these people that we're dealing with, when you're talking about somebody's home, there's a connection to it. It's a little bit of idolatry in there, but you just can't help it. I hear, oh, I have so many memories here. And I get that, of course you do. What if a flood came, God forbid, or something happened and the house just disappeared? Does that mean your memories are going to disappear? Of course not. Okay. So people have to come to a little bit of reality, especially when you're dealing with people in the foreclosure sector. Many of them are living above their means and they're not willing to face it. Everybody is in foreclosure because of pride. They were not willing to do what they were supposed to do, whether it's sell the house or fix it or borrow money or talk to a family member or whatever it is that they needed to swallow their pride in order to keep their home. It just didn't happen. And it's been my experience, especially here in the Texas area, on average, people in foreclosure haven't paid their mortgage in 2 to 5 years. I don't know how they sleep at night. So when you go after these people with rational conversation, this is going above their head. They're not ready for that. So you have to look at them here. Hey, Mary, how you doing? I'm Susan. Pleased to meet you. So tell me your story, Mary. And of course, Mary is going to tell you the story that she made up because that's the only way she can sleep at night. And sometimes these stories are very horrific. And there is a lot of truth to the story. And then you need to ask more questions. Like, well, when did that happen? I'll give you a for instance. One of my reps knocks on a door, and this man comes to the door and he says, well, listen, I'm doing a loan modification to save my home, and all I have to do is send in my divorce decree and I'm good. The rep says, okay, well, here's my flyer. Let me know if things don't work out for you. About 5 minutes later, the homeowner calls me because my number's on the flyer. And he starts telling me the same story. And I'm thinking to myself, well, then why are you calling me? So I started asking more questions. So I said to him, okay, so you filed for the loan modification, and the next thing you need to do is send in your divorce decree. Who told you that's what you needed to do? And he says to me, well, nobody. I just thought that's what I needed to do since I haven't heard anything back. Okay, when did you file for the loan modification? Now it's July now, and I'm talking to him. He said February. A loan modification doesn't take more than 30 days, okay? So I already know something's seriously wrong with this picture. And then went on to tell me how he's not that far behind. He just had a heart attack, blah, blah, blah. So I set the appointment. I send the rep on the appointment. And the way we do it is the rep puts me on speakerphone. And so I start asking more questions. Well, of course, he supplied us with a mortgage statement, and we could tell by the mortgage statement he hadn't paid his mortgage in 3 years. And that heart attack he just had was 3 years ago. And so you have to ask a lot of questions, and you can't call them out on anything. You're not accomplishing anything calling them out. You're just figuring out where they are. You cannot move somebody if you don't know where they are. And once you figure out where they are, then you can use the proper questions to get them to understand where they need to be. Do they want to keep a roof over their head or do they want to get kicked out of their homes? Stay tuned for more.